All right, now Call 6 investigates. It was an event meant to calm people's fears, but this man is now in jail, arrested for bringing a gun into a meeting on school safety. We were there as police escorted him out of Plainfield High School and were there as parents learned what happened.
And what makes this situation worse was this was the first time investigators were making themselves available answering questions about the ongoing threats at the school. Call 6 Investigates Paris Lubell is here now with the full story. Paris?
Hey, Todd and Erica. It was a tense meeting to start with, but after the incident, things got a lot worse. Now, we'll start from the very beginning. And as you said, this is the first time the district has addressed these threats directly with parents. Now, hundreds of people lined the hallway before the event. Some people had their IDs checked before going in, but just before 6 o'clock, everyone was let in so the event could start on time. Officials had requested that we don't bring our cameras inside the auditorium, but we were allowed to sit inside. Right at 6, officials from the FBI, Plainfield, and state police, as well as the school district, made some opening statements on where they are in the investigation. And then, in a general form, also explaining why they couldn't comment on specific parts of the investigation. Now, about halfway through the meeting, they allowed the audience to write down questions on cards, and they were read aloud and then answered. Now more than a month after those threats first started, and we asked people inside, did they get what they were looking for while they were there?
Doing the best that they can do. They can't tell us everything. That only makes sense. And, you know, my son has gone back since the first day, and I feel very comfortable.
To me, every threat is credible. And I feel worse coming to this tonight than I felt sending her last week.
This is what we needed probably a little lot sooner than what we got it, but at least we got it, and we're happy with it.
I realize that, you know, with technology the way it is, IP bouncers, it's going to be difficult to nail it down to one individual in a timely fashion, and people just have to be patient.
Now, during that meeting, there was a commotion, and we heard this man start to blurt out questions, and then watched him get escorted out by police. Now, just outside, RTV6 photographer Lee Atherton caught this, police searching his jacket and finding a loaded gun. Now, later, police identified him as 37-year-old Ronald Kendall and charged him with illegally carrying a firearm at the school, a Class 6 felony. He told officers he brought it there for safety. Now, as news started to break in the auditorium about the man arrested with a gun, it became a tense mix of emotions, anger, and fear from the audience. People questioned why they weren't searched before entering and questioned if a man was able to get inside the town hall with a gun, are their kids really safe? Now, as people were trying to ask more questions, Plainfield police shut down the meeting. It was about 15 minutes early. It was originally supposed to end right there at about 7:30 and it was 7:15. So that was kind of an issue right there at the end of the meeting.
Right. So after police found Kendall with the gun, did they say anything about security changing at the school?
They said what they have right now and what they've been doing is adequate, so they aren't going to be making any changes. At least that's what they said tonight.
So many concerns. What was the overall feeling at the end of the meeting?
I think people were frustrated. There were still people wanting to ask questions. People were trying to shout them out or raise their hands, and they just ended the meeting. So there was a lot of frustration of parents that didn't get the questions they wanted answered.
So a lot of unanswered questions then. All right. Thank you, Paris. Appreciate it.
And since the meeting ended, hundreds of parents have posted their thoughts and concerns on social media. We want to hear from you and get answers for all of your questions. So send us a message or post on the story on the Facebook page. Our Call 6 Investigates team will keep following this case until it is solved.